Hey guys, it's me again. I've got another video which has been a requested one. Before I start, I'm just gonna kind of apologise for the fact that I look like complete rubbish, yeah, so I apologise for my hair and my makeup and the fact that I look like rubbish, and also for the bad lighting. I've been at work and I've been up since really early this morning, and it's now like the evening time. It was night. So I've been up most of the day, so yeah, I'm tired and I can't be bothered to go over my makeup and hair and make it look better. So yeah, we'll have to do for now. It's so annoying, Anyway, also with the lighting, because as I was saying, it's evening time, I'm having to rely on artificial light, and it's so much harder to find a good enough position to get anything recorded and stuff, so yeah, you're gonna have to bear with me for that. But yeah, so this video is in relation to my bullying video, and it was someone who's having a few issues kind of with their style, and they're more than happy with their style, which they've said to me is goth. But it's just more like they want some kind of advice in relation to their style within society and with other people. So yeah, I'm going to be recording this now because I have ideas of what to say, and that's why I kind of look like rubbish, because I would record it at a time where I have better chances to do my makeup and hair properly, but I kind of know what I want to say now, so that's why I'm doing it now. Before I properly get into the topic and what they've said, I just want to put something out there in relation to any style or anything. Like, no matter what you do in life, you will be judged for it by someone. You know, it could be in relation to your style, your ethnicity, how you dye your hair, what clothes you wear, where you work, what you enjoy doing, what music you listen to. There'll be someone who will judge you because they won't understand it, or because it's not personally what they would do. And I'm not trying to say that to scare anyone. I'm just trying to say that to encourage people to be themselves, because if you're going to be judged for doing something, whether it's trying to fit in, and they'll have judge you for following the crowd, but if you try to be different, they will judge you for being different to everyone else, you know? So if you go into life aware that you are going to be judged for whatever you do, at least make sure that what you're going to be judged for is what you are happy with. You know, so if you want to be alternative, if you want to listen to a certain type of music, then go ahead and do it, knowing that you will be judged, but at least it's the happiest thing that you will be judged for. Because honestly, you are the only person that matters in your life, because it is your life. And it's not anyone else's, so whatever anyone else thinks is really insignificant in the long run, because as long as you're happy, that's all that matters. It is hard to realise that, but it is the truth. Yeah, so just do what makes you happy and ignore any hate or judgment you receive for it as much as you can. So one thing this person was saying they had troubles with is the reputation she was getting for the fact that she was a goth. So I kind of understand why goths get a reputation. I don't understand why they do, but every different group of people get a reputation for something. And as much as I don't agree with the reputation that goths get, I kind of understand where it comes from. And it's generally from their kind of bondage and fetish shoots that goths often seem to do, like goths and alternative people. And they often wear revealing clothes or nothing at all, and corsets. I mean, corsets is just often general everyday goth or alternative wear, so they can be seen for being a bit of a slut for that, but that's just because normal people wear corsets and stuff for sexual activities rather than just because it's what they personally like to wear. So there's that, but so it's mainly these shoots, and generally a darker style suits the photos that come from these shoots and the themes. And I mean, I haven't seen loads, but from what I have seen, there's generally a darker theme to the photos. So if you're going to have someone who looks typically normal, like what society classes as normal in these shoots, it's not going to make it look as effective as someone who does have a naturally darker style, because the image isn't going to flow, and that's why often that's the case. But also, another reason why the fetish and bondage shoots are quite common within their alternative culture is because we receive a lot of judgment. Like, we as alternative people receive a lot of judgment, like things like calling us emos and confusing our style for people who are emotionally unstable, when that's generally not the case. And they confuse us as being Satan worshippers or some kind of demons, all that kind of stuff, when generally that also is not the case. It can be the case with some people, but not with everyone. But people don't always understand that. So because we receive a lot of judgment for the way we look and dress and act, alternative people and goths are more used to the judgment. So we've built up confidence, like a lot of alternative people build up confidence in themselves because they're so used to the hate that it doesn't bother them anymore. So they can go and just do whatever they want to do and just be happy about them. So they have the confidence in themselves to know that they can pull off these shoots. And often with the weird thing, like not necessarily weird, but kind of weird things that happen in a lot of these shoots and like the strange themes, you need to have the confidence to be able to pull it off. Otherwise, their photos aren't going to look very good at all. And I think that's partly why these photos are done, and that's where the reputation comes from, because they're not wearing much, they're doing like kinky shoots, and it can sometimes be confused with being sluts, even though I personally don't agree with that term. And I personally don't believe that that's true in the majority of people. And same with what I was saying about things that people are called like devil worshippers and things to do with mental health rather than physical style. You know, it's just people decide to merge and confuse the two. Whether it's intentional or not, it's become something that's linked even though it's not actually linked. Like, people assume that because you dress like this and you have this style, it means you're going to do this and that you feel that and all that rubbish, when yes, sometimes people might do, but people who don't have that style might also do that as well. So yeah, like, it's silly, but that's just the way it is. And same with that, what I said at the beginning of this video, you just kind of need to learn to ignore it, because you're better than any judgment and hate that you receive, and at least you're happy enough with yourself to be who you want to be without going out of your way to judge and offend or upset anyone else. So honestly, anyone's stupid opinions don't matter, because they're just that, they're just opinions. And opinions and fact are two completely different things. So yeah, just don't worry about people and what they say, and if they're gonna think that you're a slut because you might be a goth or a scene girl or something, then just ignore them, because you know you're not, and the people around you that actually care about you and love you will also know that you're not. So, like, it's sad that there is a link, but it's not true. Like, it's a rumour, basically, that's fed from lies and misunderstandings. Another thing that was mentioned was about the fact that this girl, because of her style, people were convinced that she could only like white boys, and that goths and punks and any other alternative people could only be white. And I don't want this to sound racist at all. No, I'm just saying that this is what she was told, and this is what I've heard other people saying and what other people think. But in my opinion, no. If you want to be a goth, you can be a goth no matter what you look like, no matter what skin colour you have. And usually, yes, most alternative people you see are white, but within the recent years, less and less alternative people now are white. Like, it's becoming more and more popular for anyone to be alternative. And I think the reason behind this is not because it's an ethnical style. It's nothing to do with ethnicity at all. It's just because there are certain groups of people within society, and that's in relation to cultural, ethnical, what kind of style people have, genders, and all that stuff. And society likes to put only certain people in specific categories. They don't like people out of a specific category to be anything other than what it's assumed that they should be like. Because it's scary when someone from a group of people that shouldn't be alternative or shouldn't do something then go and do it, because it's out of their control. It shows them that they're not in control and that they don't have, there's nothing they can do about it. And I mean, I'm not saying that it's out of control, people doing whatever they want, but I'm just saying that it's a scary thing for society because they are no longer in control. They can't control what happens and what certain people do because they're humans, not robots. They can do whatever they want, but people don't like that because for some people that's not natural, and it's completely natural. Like, being any kind of alternative, and I'm just going to name a few of the more popular ones, but being a goth or a scene girl or an emo or punk or grunge or any of those things, having any of those styles is nothing to do with what the person looks like. Mainly it's to do with their attitude, and the attitude towards the style and in relation to the style. Like, if you're going to be a goth, generally you can't have, I don't know how to put it, but there's a kind of attitude that goths have that make them different. There's all the clothes and the makeup and the way the hair's done and that kind of stuff that goes with it. But there's something different, and it's with all the styles there is something different, like a character that anyone who fits into that characterization has. I've seen someone who can go around dressed as a goth and act like a goth. Like, I don't know. I know it sounds stupid. I know what I'm on about. I just don't know how to say it. But their attitude towards their style is the way that is typical within, like, the goths. So if they're wearing clothes, like the goth clothes and the goth style, they act on typical characterizations that a lot of goths have, that a lot of goths do. And so I'm not saying everyone's the same, but there's a certain attitude they have. But then the next day they could be doing for like a more punk outfit and makeup, and the attitude completely changes, because like, even though they're the same person, it's the style and there's attitudes within the style. Like, I don't know how to explain it, and that is probably something that not a lot of people will be able to explain, but I hope you guys can understand what I'm trying to say. Like, basically, I'm rambling, but all I'm saying is that ethnicity, whether it's in relation to what people can, like, what types of people someone can like, or what types of people can be a certain style, I'm just saying that it's rubbish. Anyone can be any style, and you can't help who you like. You can't stop yourself from liking someone or a group of people just because it's not what people expect you to like. I don't know. Like, just, if you want to have an alternative style, have it. If you want to like a group of people, like them. Honestly, like, don't care what people have to say, because as I said earlier, people are going to judge you for whatever you do. So at least make yourself the happiest possible you can. And that way, when they're judging you for it, you can just be happy. And it makes it easier to not listen to what people are saying. Another thing that I'm just going to go into briefly is kind of to do with the ethnicity stuff, kind of thing, and sort of racial issues, but it's more to do with weight and size. I've seen so many times where people have said that they don't feel like there can be any type of alternative because they are too fat or too skinny. And no, that is not a thing. Like, as I said, it's to do with your clothing, makeup, hair, and your attitude that makes you these styles, not what body shape you have. And generally you get it more towards people thinking they're too fat or too curvy. But honestly, for anyone out there who might feel they are too fat to be a certain style, some of the most beautiful alternative people I ever seen are on the plus side. And that's the real world plus side, not the modelling plus side, which is like a size 10 or something, which is ridiculously stupid. But the reason it's seen that these people are skinny, like the typical Tumblr girls and stuff, isn't because they're supposed to be skinny or everyone in this style is skinny and anyone who's not skinny can't be in this style. It's because you look at any type of person, they are always skinny. Any typical group of people are always skinny. And it's because society is completely screwed up. And you look at all the models, they are so unhealthily underweight that it's ridiculous. And you don't need to be worried that you're too big or too small for something, because, you know, weight and body shape and size has nothing to do with anything. You know, it's not important. As long as you're happy and healthy, that is honestly all that matters. So if you're worried that your weight's going to stop you from being like a scene girl or a goth or a punk or anything, just ignore it. Just do what makes you happy. Honestly, like, that is the best advice I can give you. Just do what makes you happy. Another thing is to do with like bullies and people misunderstanding. Like, I've sort of gone into things about people judging you, but mainly, like, one thing I want to say about people who pick on you because you're different, and like with you, like, you know, for expressing yourself, because a lot of alternative people do it to express themselves. It's what makes them happy. It's what they enjoy. They might really like the way that the goth style looks, so they want to become a goth to appreciate themselves and the style even more. And so, yeah, often it is self-expression. And I'm not saying that's always the case, because it's not, but often, yeah, that is the case. So I've had it, I've heard it, and people around me I know have heard it too, that they've had someone who's been bullying them about their style, and, you know, saying horrible things, like, generally the typical things that aren't true. Like, I was often called an emo, and it was commonly linked with the fact that I was depressed and everything like that. And I've had other people that have too, and the majority of the times, those people aren't depressed at all. They're completely happy within themselves. It's just the style is kind of linked with the style of the person. I don't know if that makes I don't know. Just, I hope you guys know what I'm on about. It's kind of what I explained earlier on, but I let people be horrible about your style, and then you'll find out a bit later that they didn't mean any of what they said, and in fact the only reason they were horrible to you is because they were jealous. And not necessarily of what you looked like, but mainly because you were able to express yourself the way you wanted to, and they weren't. They were too scared to express themselves. So instead of trying to express themselves and worrying that they might embarrass themselves rather than make themselves feel better, which it's unlikely it would happen, but it's something people will always worry about. So instead of doing that, they make someone else feel worse about themselves so they can feel better about them. And it's the whole thing about bullying again. People, that's what people do. That's what society is like these days. And the last thing I want to say is kind of in relation to the styles, but mainly with piercings and tattoos. I've just had a really weird deja vu moment, but I don't know why. Anyway, carry on. Just interrupting myself again. Like, people can have piercings and tattoos, like, be heavily tattooed, and not be in an alternative style. But you can also be, like, on the other hand, like an extreme out and out goth, and not have any piercings or tattoos at all. Because they add to the style, they don't make the style. So if you want piercings or tattoos, get them because you want them, not because you feel to be a specific kind of person you have to have them. But with the style and piercings and tattoos, you will always be asked questions. So if you're watching this video to get advice on being alternative, be aware that you will be asked questions, and generally they're not horrible. They're out of actual genuine interest. And like, especially with piercings or tattoos, you get people saying, "Oh, did that hurt? Like, why do you like them?" Not like, "Oh, why do you like them? They're hideous." More like, "No, why do you like them?" You know, is not something that they might personally find interesting, but they want to find out why other people do. So often it's a general understanding, like, you know, does looking like this make you feel better about yourself? Like, all that kind of stuff. So just be aware that you will be asked questions, but probably about 90% of the time it's not horrible. Like, yeah, you will get possibly get some people asking horrible questions, but that's just because they're judgmental. And if they're that judgmental, they're generally just insignificant to you. I'm not saying anyone's insignificant because they judge people. I'm saying that to the person they're judging, they're insignificant. They should be. To anyone else, they're not. But yeah, so just don't worry. Just do what you want to do. Don't care what anyone has to say or think about it. Just know that you're doing it for yourself, not for anyone else. So don't change who you are because someone wants you to look like that because they like the way that it looks. And don't change who you are because someone doesn't. Change who you are because you personally want to look like something. Or you personally want to have a certain style, or do your hair a certain way, or wear certain clothes. Because, as I said, it's your life. And you are the only one who is important in it. And I can hardly really say anything because generally I don't feel like I'm the important person in my life, but it is your life and it has you in it. Your has you in it, so it's your life. So you are the one whose life it is. Don't let anyone change it for you. Don't let anyone ruin it for you. Just live it the way you want it, because otherwise you're going to regret it. Yeah, that's going to be it for this video. It overran way too far. I'm getting a really bad habit of rambling. But yeah, I'll leave it at that. Please leave any comments of any other questions you want answered. I can either add it to the end of this video or more likely make another video answering any questions people might have. But I really hope this has helped, and I will see you guys soon. I will be making another video soon, and I'm still in the preparation stages of my 25 sub goal video, but it's a lot harder to record than just sort of this, which is just going and recording. I'm sorry for how shaky the footage is. To get the best light and position of the camera, I'm actually having to hold it. So yeah, you see my arm holding it. Yay! I don't know why I just did that, but I did. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Please like and subscribe if this video helped, and I look forward to seeing you guys next time. Bye!